Hey, Thalia called to us. She was slow dancing with Grover, who was tripping all over himself, kicking Thalia in the shins and looking like he wanted to die. At least his feet were fake. Unlike me, he had an excuse for being clumsy. Dance, you guys, Thalia ordered. You look stupid just standing there. I looked nervously at Annabeth and at the groups of girls who were roaming the gym. Well, Annabeth said, who should I ask? She punched me in the gut. Me, seaweed brain. Oh, right. So we went onto the dance floor, and I looked over to see how Thalia and Grover were doing things. I put one hand on Annabeth's hip, and she clasped my other hand like she was about to judo throw me. I'm not going to bite, she told me. Honestly, Percy, don't you guys have dances at your school? I didn't answer. The truth was we did, but I never actually danced at one. I was usually one of the guys playing basketball in the corner. We shuffled around for a few minutes. I tried to concentrate on little things like the crepe paper streamers and the punch bowl, anything but the fact that Annabeth was taller than me and my hands were sweaty and probably gross, and I kept stepping on her toes. What were you saying earlier? I asked. Are you having trouble at school or something? She pursed her lips. It's not that. It's my dad. Uh-oh. I knew Annabeth had a rocky relationship with her father. That is getting better with it too. Is it your stepmom again? Annabeth sighed. Annabeth sighed. He decided to move. Just when I was getting settled in New York, he took this stupid new job researching for a World War One book in San Francisco. She said this the same way she might say Fields of Punishment or Hades' gym shorts. So he wants you to move out there with him? I asked. To the other side of the country, she said miserably. To the other side of the country, she said miserably. And half-bloods can't live in San Francisco. He should know that. What? Why not? Annabeth rolled her eyes. Maybe she thought I was kidding. You know, it's right there. Oh, I said, I had no idea what she was talking about, but I didn't want to sound stupid. So you'll go back to living at camp or what? It's more serious than that, Percy. I probably should tell you something. Suddenly she froze. They're gone. What? I followed her against the bleachers. The two half-blood kids, Bianca and Nico, were no longer there. The door next to the bleachers was wide open. Dr. Thorne was nowhere in sight. We have to get to Thalia and Grover. Annabeth looked around frantically. Where'd they dance off to? Come on. She ran through the crowd. I was about to follow when a mob of girls got in my way. I maneuvered around them to avoid getting the ribbon and lipstick treatment, and by the time I was free, Annabeth had disappeared. I turned a full circle looking for her or Thalia and Grover. Instead, I saw something that chilled my blood. About 50 feet away, lying on the gym floor, was a floppy green cap, just like the one Bianca D'Angelo had been wearing. Near it were a few scattered trading cards, and I caught a glimpse of Dr. Thorne. He was hurrying out a door at the opposite end of the gym, steering the D'Angelo kids by the scruffs of their necks like kittens. I still couldn't see Annabeth, but I knew she'd be heading the other way, looking for Thalia and Grover. I almost ran after her, and then I thought, wait. I remember Thalia had said to me in the entry hall, looked at me all puzzled, and I asked about the finger snap trick. Hasn't Chiron shown you how to do that yet? I thought about the way Grover had turned to her, expecting her to save the day. Not that I resented Thalia. She was cool. It wasn't her fault. Her dad was Zeus and she got all the attention. Still, I didn't need to run after her to solve every problem. Besides, there wasn't time. The D'Angelos were in danger. They might be, long gone by the time I found my friends. I knew monsters. I could handle this myself. I took Riptide out of my pocket and ran after Dr. Thorne. The door led into a dark hallway. I heard sounds of scuffling up ahead, then a painful grunt. I uncapped Riptide. The pin grew in my hand until I held a bronze Greek sword about 3 feet long with a leather-bound grip. The blade glowed faintly, casting a golden light on the rows of lockers. I jogged down the corridor, but when I got to the other end, no one was there. I opened the door and found myself back in the main entry hall. I was completely turned around. I didn't see Dr. Thorne anywhere. But there on the opposite side of the room were the D'Angelo kids. They stood frozen in horror, staring right at me. I advanced slowly, lowering the tip of my sword. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. They didn't answer. Their eyes were full of fear. What was wrong with them? Where was Dr. Thorne? Maybe he'd sensed the presence of Riptide and retreated. Monsters hated celestial bronze weapons. My name's Percy, I said, trying to keep my voice level. I'm going to take you out of here, get you somewhere safe. Bianca's eyes widened, her fist clenched. Only too late did I realize what her look meant. She wasn't afraid of me. She was trying to warn me. I whirled around and something went whoosh. Pain exploded in my shoulder. A force like a huge hand yanked me backward and slammed me to the wall. I shot with my sword, but there was nothing to hit. A cold laugh echoed through the hall. Yes, Percy is trapped, and Dr. Thorne said. His accent mangled the J in my last name. I know who you are. I tried to free my shoulder. My coat and shirt were pinned to the wall by some kind of spike, a black dagger-like projectile about a feet long. It had grazed the skin on my shoulder as it passed through my clothes, and the cut burned. I'd felt like something this before, poison. I'd forced myself to concentrate. I would not pass out. A dark silhouette now moved toward us. Dr. Thorne stepped into the dim light. He still looked human, but his face was ghoulish. He had perfect white teeth, and his brown/blue eyes reflected the light of my sword. Thank you for coming out of the gym, he said. I hate middle school dances. I tried to swing my sword again, but he was just out of reach. Whoosh! A second projectile shot from somewhere behind Dr. Thorne. He didn't appear to move. It was as if someone invisible were standing behind him, throwing knives. Next to me, Bianca yelped. The second thorn impaled itself into the stone wall, half an inch from her face. All three of you will come with me, Dr. Thorne said. Quietly, obediently, if you make a single noise, if you call out for help or try to fight, I'll show you just how accurately I can throw. That was part 2, and I hope y'all enjoyed. Bye.